Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's the end of week 40 of my challenge. I didn't do a video for week 39 because I had one sale and I just couldn't be bothered, to be perfectly honest. So let's get into what has sold for the 2 weeks. So in that week 39, I sold one item, which was a book that I'd pulled from my personal collection when I was culling, a vintage kids book, listed it up. I had someone from the UK, I'd only listed it for, I think, to Australia and New Zealand. Had someone from the UK contact me asking if I'd ship overseas to the UK because this was her childhood book, and you know, she was really looking for a copy, and well, the copy I had looked in much better condition than the one that she had, or you know, the one that she'd had and didn't have anymore or whatever. So I said yes, but you know, it's going to cost you like $40, around 40, because that's what the cost was of one that I'd sent recently, so it's not cheap. She was still interested. She said, what's your best offer? Then I think she watched my item, or I said, make me an offer. And then she'd made me an offer through my chat message, but I didn't see it. And then I'd sent her an offer out for 20%, I think. But then I think she missed that and expired. And then she ended up paying the full price. And I thought, well, I was happy to take an offer. So I ended up refunding her, and it cost me $34. So I did refund some of the cost of postage. So this image that I'm going to put up shows $34.95 plus 12 posts, but it was $34.95 plus 40 posts, but then I refunded a whole heap. So I can't remember what it took exactly, but you know, she left me really, you know, great feedback on it. And to be honest, even though I made barely anything on it, I'm happy to send a book to someone, you know, that really, really wants it. You know, I could have declined her. It was a low offer. I think it was like 50% off or something. You know, I could have declined it and then had this sitting there and not sold it and then end up donating it or selling it at a garage sale, 50 cents. So I was happy to let this go to someone that would appreciate it and, you know, wanted a vintage book. Because otherwise probably would have donated it to an op shop and could end up in the bloody bin, the way they, I think, you know, chuck a lot of stuff out. Anyway, I'm waffling again. Next item to sell was the Simply Too Good to Be True cookbook set. I picked up some in one of my videos, I think when I went to Mount Barker. Picked up a couple of them for 50 cents. I think I had some that I'd picked up earlier for 50 cents. So they sold, I think, let me go back. I'll just go. So the total sales price, including postage, was $45 for those. Next item I sold was one of my junk journals. I call it junk journal, but it's not junk in this one. I used, you know, pretty papers and nothing was, you know, old and, you know, stuff that you'd toss out. I did send out an offer. They countered at a lower offer. So the total sales price with the postage was $32. I was happy to get that gone because I've got a few ring-bound junk journals that I just want to get rid of them. I'm not doing them anymore. When I get into crafting again, I'm going to do more you know, pamphlet stitch sewn signature type journals. So yeah, Halloween one, happy to get that out. And then next item to sell was a bunch of the Donna Hay Fresh and Light magazines. Always good to get the magazines out because they take up a lot of space and they're heavy on my shelf. They sold for $32.50 including post. I think I might have stuffed up on that, on how much. I ended up having to get into a medium satchel. They just wouldn't fit in a small satchel, so it did cost me a bit more on the postage. And then the last item to sell late yesterday, was a set of 5 historic Egyptian fiction Ramses series. Total sale price of $44. I did take an offer of $32 plus post. They were free to me, so yeah, that was good. I think I made $27.21. That's what that was on that. Okay, so let's go to the summary. 21st of September to the 4th of October. Total sales of $203.50. Fees of $29.32, leaving $174.18 before I take out tax and postage. That was 5 items sold to 5 buyers, average sales price of $40.70. So yeah, it hasn't been great in sales, which I'm kind of surprised about because I did have a real blitz on listing which was probably the week when I had that $200 and something week. And then I just thought that might have a flow on effect, but obviously it hasn't. And I think I said in a video ages ago, when they changed the promoted listing so that no matter who clicks on it, or, you know, if anyone has clicked on your sale, your item, you're going to get charged a promoted, you know, the promoted fee. Well, if it sells, or whatever it is, I can't remember the ins and outs, but I took promoted listings off everything. And now I'm thinking, oh, you know, maybe it is impacting. I don't know. I haven't gone back and promoted anything yet. We'll just see what happens. I do have, more things to list, but, you know, priority is job applications, hunting, and I've had interviews to prepare for, so I really haven't done a lot in terms of eBay. So my savings fund is pretty slim. I'll just go over to what it is. So my total savings amount is $3,334.37. 23% of my goal, not even a quarter of the way. Should be at 3/4 of the way of my goal. So not going well. And I may have to break into it. I'm still out of work. I may have something this week. But this will be coming into my 5th week being out of work, and my payout has gone. So, you know, I've got bills to pay. So yeah, my challenge could be totally stuffed up in a week. So anyway, we'll see what happens. So actually it's probably even more important for me to try to get sales on eBay. But yeah, my 90-day total is sitting around the 1,700 mark. It used to be around the 3,200 a while back. So yeah, it's a bit depressing. But that's where I'm at. This is, you know, reality of life and doing something as a side hustle. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll have a bit better numbers for next week. Thank you. Bye.